Tere tulemast kõigile! Mina olen Keijo Kalm, Ühe Internationalist, Lindy tootejuht. Täna siis Ühe International Lindy's koostöös otsustasime teile teha väikese ülevaate Lindy HDMI-dest ja maatriksitest. Selleks on meil Lindy insener Ian ja müügiesindaja Jevin. Küsimusi saate esitada paremale poole. Me vastame neile nii jooksvalt, kui ka pärast webinari lõpus on väike 15-20 minutit meil aega süvitsi minna, kui on mingeid erilisi küsimusi. Hiljem saate ka mulle e-maili saata, kui vaja on. Kui kohe ei tule mingeid erilisi spetsiifilisi küsimusi, millele kohe ei tule pähe, eks ju. Aga mis seal ikka? Alustame. Ian, your turn.
Okay, hello everyone, and thanks for joining today. My name is Ian Ramos, and I'm the technical specialist at Lindy, based in Barcelona, and the tech support for your country. So today I'd like to walk you through a very practical topic: how to choose and use HDMI standards and video matrices in a practical way. Okay, HDMI standards and video matrices, the Lindy Field Guide. As I said before, a fast and practical tour of Lindy HDMI standard lineup. We will be seeing CAD, HDBaseT, AV/IP, video matrices, and fiber. When to use each, key specs, and how to design reliable long-distance links alongside scalable video matrix options. The brand. Lindy. Lindy is a global leader in AV and IT connectivity, represented by 15 sales and services branches across nearly 90 countries. Founded in 1932, we have been at the forefront of developing and marketing cutting-edge connection technology for over 90 years. Our commitment to innovation and excellence makes us the trusted choice for professionals worldwide. The agenda. What HDMI standards solve? Architecture's overview, HDMI over CAD, fiber, HDBaseT, video matrices, AV/IP, practical device example for each technology, connectivity examples. Okay. What HDMI standards solve? First point, overcome distance limits. Go beyond from 5 to 10 meters basic HDMI cable, reach from 40 meters to 100 meters or plus over CAD cable, and more than 300 meters over a fiber cable. Second, install flexibility. Racks, AV closet, long riser, structured cabling, concealing brands. The signal integrity and reliability. Equalization, reclocking, ESD protection, cleaner handshakes. Integrations and control that allows this kind of technology. Carry IR, serial control, 232, sometimes SEC, pass-through, depending on the model that you are using. And architecture's overview. Well, the first architecture, HDMI over CAD. Extend HDMI over a CAD 5E, CAD 6, or CAD 6A. Recommended for, I will recommend you to use now CAD 6A. Using proprietary chipsets, non-standard IP. Typical reach from up to 70 meters at 4K and 100 meters at full HD, depending on the model and cable. Supports HDCP, ADID, SEC, multi-channel audio, sometimes HDR, often includes the infrared, the serial control, pass-through for remote control. And the cost is the effective cost, is the cheapest technology and standard for a standard, simple point-to-point for small, medium rooms. When to use it? This is a big question. This is recommended for small, medium runs inside rooms, floors, where copper is cheaper and easier than fiber. You need infrared or serial control. Sometimes you need SEC, on and often POC, power over cable, over the Ethernet cable, in one link. And the latency must be 0 or near 0 for classroom, boardrooms, signage, and live. The performance of this kind of technology. Full HD, 1080 and 60 Hz, 8-bit, up to 500 and 1500 meters in CAT6 and CAT6A cable, depending on the chipset of the bubble. Sometimes you will find 4K at 30 Hz, 4x4x4, and a bandwidth of 10.2 gigabits, up to 100 meters over a CAT6 or CAT6A cable. And you will get up to 18 gigabits, usually in 40 or 70 meters, using visually lossless compression, or requires chroma big trace of in this kind of chroma example, 4x4x4. HDMI over fiber, if you want, go longer or further. Very long distance HDMI extension from tens and hundreds of meters up to kilometers. This will be over a single mode cable to reach a kilometer. Excellent signal integrity, immune to the EMI is the most important feature for this technology, for this kind of standard. And it's ideal for long distance campuses, stadiums, industrial, and medical sites where copper limits are a problem. When to use it? When distance goes beyond what copper HDBaseT can do, you hundreds of meters, kilometers, as I said before. When the environment has a strong AMI or RFI, or you need galvanic isolation between buildings and racks. When you must guarantee a stable 4K 6 HDR with very low latency over long background runs. Stadium campuses, industrial, or medical are the most common environments. The performance sheet for this technology: Full HD, 60 Hz. If you go from 300 meters to 500 meters over an OM, it is a multi-mode cable, OM4 or OM3, or 10 kilometers over a single mode cable. 4K, 60 Hz, 4x4x4, a bandwidth of 10.2 gigabit until 500 meters on a multi-mode cable. If we're going to further 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers on a single mode, depending on the standard or the fiber. On up to 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4, a bandwidth of 18 gigabits, around 300 on a multi-mode cable. And as I said before, you can reach 20 kilometers on a single mode cable. Usually using visually lossless compression, depend of the installation and the model that you have been choose. HDBaseT. This is the most recommended technology if you want the zero latency. This is an open standard for long distance, professional HDMI extension over CAT cable. It has 5 play. That means video, audio, Ethernet control, and power over a single cable, an Ethernet cable. A CAT6A cable, we recommend. Up to 100 meters at 4K 60 Hz or Full HD. Low latency, visually lossless. Common in standard wall plays, matrices, and Pro AV environments. Require high quality, as I said before, Cat6, Cat6A cable. In some cases, HDBaseT Cat6A cable certified. When to use this kind of technology? For long distance and reliable 4K distribution, up to 100 if you want 4K, mostly up to 100 meters over a Cat6A cable, and where signal stability and uptime really matter. You want everything over one cable, the 5-play, mentioned it before, video, audio, Ethernet, infrared, serial control, and sometimes power over HDBaseT. For professional, mission-critical Pro AV spaces, boardroom, classroom, control rooms, digital signage, where low latency and a standardized ecosystem are required. The performance cheat sheet, 4K 300 Hz, 4x4x4, 4K 6000, and you will get up to 100 meters, 4x4x4, 4K 60 Hz in the some models. Latency 0, no visible delay for live content, conferencing, or interactivity. Full bandwidth 18 gigabits, 4K 6000, 4x4x4, and usually you can get HDR. So limited, sometimes shorter runs, up to 70 meters, depending on HDMI generation. Video matrices. A video matrices is a central AV switching hub, routes multiple sources to multiple displays, any input to any output, often simultaneously. Integrates key processing, ADID, HTCP, handling, scaling, audio, de-embedding, routing, preset and sometimes video wall modes. Available as pure HDMI, hybrid HDMI, HDBaseT, or part of an AV over IP fabric using encoders, decoders at the edges. When to use a matrix, a video matrix, when you have several sources and several displays and need flexible routing, meeting rooms, classrooms, control rooms, digital signage. When a central one-box brain is easier to manage than many point-to-point extenders and manual repatching. When you need advanced features like audio, breakout, preset scenes, video wall layouts, and integration with control systems like serial control, Ethernet, and so on. The performance, the typical performance for a matrix. Well, it can go up to 4K 60 Hz, 4x2x0 in a bandwidth of 10.2 gigabits, common on HDMI 2.0 or an HDBaseT matrices. Over a HDMI passive copper cable, recommending use in the input and the output up to 5 meters. 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4, supported on higher end HDMI, HDBaseT, or AV over IP matrices. Often needs short, high quality HDMI runs and may usually you may see visually lossless compression on long cat fiber cables. AV over IP. distributes video, audio, and control over a standard Ethernet network using a transmitter and receiver, usually a transceiver, and you can change as a transmitter or receiver in case of the HDBaseT. And acts as a maximally scalable matrix, any source to any display across rooms, floors, or buildings, including video walls. Relies on managed switches and multicast, can run on dedicated AV network or coverage IT AV infrastructure. When to use? When you have many sources and many displays spread across a building, campus, and need very flexible routing. When the system must be easy to expand or reconfigure, add endpoints, change routes without pulling new cables. When you want to align with IT standard, Ethernet, fiber, backbones, central switches, instead of fixed HDMI, HDBaseT matrices. The performance. Full HD, 60 Hz, in a 8-bit color subsampling, widely supported on 1 gigabit with a standard compression, H.264 or H.2265 or JPEG 2000. Typical latency will be up to 100 milliseconds. You will get a resolution of 4K 60 Hz, 4:2:0, common on 1 gigabit, visually lossless systems. Effective bit rates in the hundreds of megabits per second, latency from one less than friend to a few friends, depending on the code. A 4K 60 Hz 4x4x4, usually on 10 gigabits standards or premium 1 gigabits over a JPEG 2000 codec solutions. Sub 10 milliseconds or sub-frame latency possible with good switchers. Okay, practical device example for each technologies. This is our model. It can go up to 50 meters. It's a CAC6 HDMI 4K 60 Hz. It's an extender, a simple extender, point-to-point. Extend 4K HDMI with a bandwidth of 18 gigabit signals over 50 meters and supports up to 4K 60 Hz and a chroma subsampler of 4x4x4 8-bit. And with support for HDR. You can get also an HDMI loop through output creates an additional viewing zone with a local display. It has POC, power over cable functionality, for power for a single power supply, either from the transmitter or the receiver. The technical details for this model, for this device: HDMI 2.0, the support bandwidth is 80 gigabytes per second, maximum distance, as I said before, 50 meters, over a CAC6 or CAC7 cable. The maximum resolution 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4, color subsampling. HDCP support, pass-through. It allows the pass-through of HDCP support. HDCP is a technology, sorry. ADI pass-through also. Also, you can get, you can configure it on setting up the ADI through just click a button over the device. It supported audio up to 7.2.1 pass-through. A splitter is a model for a standard splitter up to 70 meters. distribute 4K HDMI signals up to 4 displays in a multiple locations. Support resolution up to 4K 60 Hz with additional support for HDR. Filters are looped through HDMI output on the transmitter for local monitoring or cascading for longer install. Up to 3, you can get up to 3 splitters connected by cascading. Support power over cable to receivers. Only a single power supply is required for the operation. The technical details for this device: interface standard HDMI 2.0, the supported bandwidth 18 gigabits per second, maximum distance 70 meters, maximum resolution 4K 60 Hz, chroma subsampling for 8-bit, HDCP support up to 2.2. ADID management default 4K 60 Hz. The downscale function to full HD is available. Copy function from loop-up port for the ADID management. Supported audio, LPCM 2-channel up to 5.1 copying ADID from loop-out port. A KVM standard. This is this KVM model extend HDMI and USB. HID, that means keyboards and mouse generally, signals up to 70 meters using a single Cat6 cable. Supports HDMI resolution up to 4K, 60 Hz, 4x4x4, 8-bit chroma subsampling with HDR, ADID management, and HDMI loop-out port to connect an additional display on the transmitter. Supports POC, the power over cable, requiring a power supply connecting from only one side of the installation. The technical details. For this device, the interfaces will be the HDMI 2.0, the USB technology 1.1, just for keyboard and mouse, as I said before. Supported bandwidth 18 gigabit per second, maximum distance 70 meters, maximum resolution 4K 60 Hz, a chroma subsampling of 4x4x4 8-bit, HDCP support up to 2.2, ADID pass-through, a DIC switch with copy function and presets. Supported audio HDMI audio pass-through, and have an audio mini jack 3.5 millimeters audio port. A fiber standard extends. This model extends HDMI on a bandwidth of 18 gigabit signals up to 300 meters over a simplex LC multimode cable, just one cable, or up to 1 kilometer over a simplex LC single mode cable. Support resolution up to 4K 60 Hz Ultra HD with high dynamic range HDR. Bidirectional IR, infrared, or serial for seamless flexibility, flexible control, and HDCP up to 2.2 support to ensure the maximum compatibility. The technical details, as I said before, 300 meters over a multi-mode fiber cable, 1 kilometer over a single mode fiber cable. The maximum resolution will be 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4, 8-bit. HDCP support is pass-through, ADID pass-through, supported audio pass-through, And it has a mini jack 3.5 millimeter connector, infrared support with this kind of filters. This is one of the most recent HDMI standard that we have and that we can offer. This extends and USB 3.2 Gen 1 and IV signals from 2 Type-C hosts up to 100 meters using a Cat6A cable, Ethernet cable. Type-C power delivery 100 watts port on the transmitter. Display link technology for which you can connect to displays over display link technology on dual HDMI 4K 60 Hz outputs. Power over cable requires a single power supply to be connected to the transmitter or receiver only. Supports USB 3.2 Gen 1, USB 3.0, up to 5 gigabits per second, USB 2.0 or 1.1 backwards compatibility. A serial 232, APIs, audio, and F-Sync pass-through ports. The technical details. Interface standard is HDMI 2.0, USB 3.2 Gen 1, supporting bandwidth 18 gigabits per second, USB, the bandwidth 5 gigabits per second. The maximum distance 100 meters over a certified HDBaseT cable. Maximum resolution 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4, 8-bit, the color subsampling. HDCP support 2.2, ADID pass-through. The transmission protocol HDBaseT, USB 3. Transmission medium, we recommend a Cat6A cable, HDBaseT certified cable. Matrix standard. HDBaseT matrix standard that extends and distributes HDMI infrared serial signals to 4 displays and distance of up to 100 meters. Supports resolution up to 4K 60 Hz with HDR. And filters also allow a loop-through HDMI output for local monitoring. Supports over cable, power over cable, ADID management, downscaler, and audio de-embedding functions. The technical details. It goes up to 120 meters for 4K and color sampling 4x4x4 8-bit, and for full HD up to 150 meters. Maximum resolution 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4 8-bit. HDCP support 2.2, ADID pass-through. It will be available some presets, or it can be cloning. Supported audio, HDMI audio pass-through. The technical details, it supports digital audio up to 5.1 channels, analog audio up to 2.0 channels, separate audio ports through a coaxial unbalanced analog ports. Infrared supports, it has serial interfaces. The transmission protocol, it will be HDBaseT. Transmission medium for Ethernet cable over Cat6. HDMI 4K 60 Hz matrix. This is a 16 by 16 input and output matrix. It can switch between 16 HDMI source devices and 16 HDMI displays connected simultaneously. Support resolutions up to 4K 60 Hz with additional support for HDR. Allow for flexible and convenient switching between 16 HDMI sources, perfect for commercial and professional settings. Easy to use and set up with an intuitive web guide. It has its own web guide, remote control, or push buttons. The technical details for this model: the maximum resolution will be 4K 60 Hz RGB 4 bits. HDCP support up to 2.2. The supported audio will be an HDMI audio pass-through up to 7.1 channels, and over a coaxial cable up to 5.1 channel. SEC support, it supports SEC. It supports serial interface. It has a serial interface for 232. And to control it, you will have buttons, serial, infrared, and Ethernet port. The special features for these models, it will be ARC, audio return, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, HDR10. This is a HDMI over IP standard. Distribute HDMI signal one-to-one or one-to-many as part of a network installation. Support resolution up to full HD 60 Hz. Supports infrared and HDMI loop-up. Port on the transmitter. Add additional receiver to the network for larger scale distribution. The technical details: AV interfaces will be HDMI 1.3, supported bandwidth 6.75 gigabits per second, and the maximum distance 150 meters when you connect point-to-point the transmitters. The maximum resolution for HD 60 Hz, 4x4x4 AV. HDCP will be up to 1.4. The protocol, transmission protocol, will be IP, the codec H.265 video compression. SDVoE. This is the best device that we can offer until now for HDMI standards. Supports and compressor solution up to 4K 60 Hz, 4x4x4, with HDR10 and no latency or zero latency. Encoder and decoder mode on the transceiver devices. Automatic detection of fiber and copper connections. Supports power over cable and multicast, video wall, and multi-view configurations. The technical details: interface will be HDMI. Interface is standard HDMI 2.0V, USB 2.0, power over Ethernet. Support bandwidth will be 18 gigabits per second. Maximum resolution 4K 60 Hz with the color chroma key simply 4x4x4 8-bit. HDCP support up to 2.2. The audio will be available pass-through, or you can connect also a 3.5 jack cable for 2 channels, transmission protocol IP. All these features you will get connected over a CAC6A cable, and special features: API support, encoder decoder modes, and requires a 10 gigabit Ethernet switcher. This is our some connectivity example. for the model that we have seen before, HDBaseT. You can see here you can connect to hosts, PC1, PC2, and you will get two displays. Also in extended mode, it will be available. SDBOE. This will be a connectivity example for an SDBOE configurations. You can see maybe a multi-view display, a video wall. You can create a multi-view video wall, and also connect more displays or devices if you want it. Well, this will be all for today. Thank you. If you have any question.
Kui kellelgi on küsimus, siis küsige julgelt. Võin aidata tõlkida ka. Let's wait a little bit. Estonians are shy.
Okay, we have a question. Which model supports HDBaseT matrix? Yes, we have a matrix. The model will be, I don't know if I can share the device from our website, a link.
You can share it on the chat. You can write it on the chat.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm asking before because I don't know if. That will be the model, HDBaseT matrix extender.
Yevin, if you want to add something, you can add as well. Maybe you have something to add.
Okay, guys, so thank you so much for joining. And so I'm responsible for Estonia, and I'm in close cooperation with KO, and YE Estonia is our reliable distributor in Estonia. So whatever you may need from Lindy, you can also get a product from YE, and KO is your contact. And then from Lindy perspective, we can support you. Whenever you have any project, you have any question, technical question, you can reach either to KO or to Ian directly. And in case you need to have a call, like what we're doing via Teams, you can also contact him. Yeah? We're more than happy to assist you with your project. Just let us know. Yeah.
I'm going to write my email on the chat.
Yeah, you can write it on the chat.
Yeah. If you have any inquiries or a big project or something, you can send me an email directly.
Yeah, so I think that's enough. You can send me the emails as well to ask whatever, any questions. And I think goodbye for everyone. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.
Head aega. Tänud.